Welcome to Karma's Harvest. Today we share a story about the arrogance of youth and the quiet brilliance of those who have seen it all. It's a tale of a nephew who thought a pen could steal a legacy, only to find that his uncle had already rewritten the rules of the game. They say that age brings a certain kind of stillness, a quiet observation that the young often mistake for weakness. Arthur was a man of such stillness. At 78, he lived in a modest farmhouse, surrounded by 300 acres of prime real estate that developers had been eyeing for decades. To the world, he was just an old man with fading eyesight. To his nephew, Leo, he was an obstacle sitting on a gold mine. Leo was a man of expensive tastes and shallow pockets. He viewed his uncle's land not as a family heritage, but as a winning lottery ticket he hadn't yet cashed in. He spent months visiting Arthur, not out of love, but to study him. He watched how Arthur held his pen, how his hand shook slightly, and where he kept his legal documents. Leo was a predator in a suit, waiting for the right moment to strike. The plan was simple, or so Leo thought. He would forge a deed of gift, transferring the entire estate into his name. He practiced Arthur's signature thousands of times. He used old letters and checks as a guide, perfecting every loop of the A and every slant of the R. By the time he was finished, even a handwriting expert would have been hard-pressed to spot the difference. It was a masterpiece of deception. One rainy Tuesday, while Arthur was taking his afternoon nap, Leo placed the document on the mahogany desk. He had already bribed a shady notary to backdate the paperwork. All that was left was to file the deed at the county records office. Leo felt a surge of adrenaline as he drove to the courthouse. In his mind, he was already spending the millions. The developers had promised him. He walked into the clerk's office with a practiced air of grief. "My uncle isn't doing well," Leo lied, leaning over the counter. "He wanted me to take over the management of the estate, to ensure the land stays in the family. Here are the signed transfer documents." The clerk, a stern woman named Martha, who had worked in the records department for 30 years, took the papers. She adjusted her glasses and looked at the signature. It was perfect. A flawless replica of Arthur's elegant, old-fashioned cursive. "Wait a moment," Martha said, her brow furrowing. She turned to her computer and pulled up Arthur's file. Leo's heart hammered against his ribs. "Is there a problem? The signature is clearly his." Martha looked up, her expression unreadable. "Mr. Leo, your uncle visited this office 6 months ago. He made a formal legal amendment to his filing requirements. Due to his failing eyesight and concerns about security, he officially retired his written signature for all land-related transactions." Leo felt a cold chill run down his spine. "What do you mean, retired it?" "As of last July," Martha explained, "Arthur declared that no document bearing a written signature would be considered valid for his estate. He moved to a biometric verification system. For a deed to be transferred, it must bear his physical thumbprint, witnessed by a court-appointed official. This paper you've brought me, it only has a pen and ink signature." Leo felt the world tilting. That can't be right." "He didn't tell me." "He didn't have to." A calm voice spoke from behind him. Leo spun around to see Arthur standing at the doorway, leaning on his cane. He didn't look like a frail old man. He looked like a judge. "I knew you were practicing, Leo," Arthur said quietly. "I saw the practice sheets you thought you'd hidden in the recycling bin. I saw the way you looked at my desk. I gave you every chance to be a nephew, but you insisted on being a thief. So, I changed the locks on the gate before you even tried to open it." The clerk had already signaled the security guard. The masterpiece Leo had created wasn't a ticket to wealth. It was a confession written in ink. As Leo was led away for questioning regarding attempted fraud, Arthur simply took his documents back. He didn't look angry. He looked at peace. He had planted the seeds of protection long ago, and today he harvested the justice he deserved. In the end, Leo learned a bitter lesson. You can mimic a man's hand, but you can never steal his wisdom. This is Karma's Harvest. Remember, what you sow in the dark will always be brought to light. Until next time.